Please be attentive. Today we are going to study the different objectives of a firm in the market. We have studied different market structures like perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly. And today we are going to study what is going to happen when we have the different objectives of the firm. So what are those objectives which a firm can achieve? Okay. The prime objective of every firm is to maximize profit. We all know this is the first or prior objective of any firm. It wants to maximize its profit. What is the second most important objective of the firm? To maximize total sales revenue. To maximize total sales revenue. Alright, this is another objective of the firm. What is the third objective of the firm? To maximize sales. To maximize the sales. What is the third objective of the firm? That is satisficing profit. And fifth one is loss minimization. Loss minimization. And the last one is the ethical objective of the firm. Okay. Now, if firm is having the objective of profit maximization, where will it produce? What is the condition of profit maximization of a firm? It has to produce at the point where its marginal revenue equals to marginal cost. The first objective, that is to maximize profit. To maximize profit, the firm has to produce where its marginal revenue should equal to marginal cost. We find these types of objectives diagrams in our paper 3 of multiple choice questions. In your book, there is no diagram given for these objectives, but in multiple choice question paper, they give us the diagrams, then they ask where this objective is going to be achieved, at which level of output firm is going to achieve the sales revenue maximization or sales maximization, or firm is going to have profit maximization. So I am going to draw the diagrams of each objective over here. Now see, we are in imperfect competition. This is the demand which is equal to average revenue, and here it is the marginal revenue of the firm. So what happens? This is the marginal cost of production. So firm is producing over here in order to maximize its total profit. This is the average revenue, and this is going to be the average cost of the firm. So here we find this thing, the firm is maximizing its total profit when it produces at the point where its marginal revenue equals to its marginal cost of production. This is the one thing we continuously have drawn this diagram for every market structure, that every firm has to produce at the point where its marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost of the last unit produced. Then the gap between total revenue and total cost will be maximized, and firm will be able to earn supernormal profit. Alright. Now what is the second objective? To maximize the total sales revenue. Have you drawn this one? I want to erase it and I want to make it. Okay, I am trying on the lower diagram that you will be able to compare it. To maximize the revenues of the firm, I gave you instructions that if firm wants to maximize its total sales revenue, it has to produce at the point where marginal revenue is 0. At that point, the total revenue will be maximum. Okay, this output level here, where marginal revenue is 0, the total revenue will be maximized. I am going to draw it over here. This is the same diagram I am going to draw. Imperfectly competitive firm. This is the marginal revenue. Now, this point of output, where marginal revenue is 0, marginal revenue is 0, the total revenue is maximum. If you remember the shape of total revenue curve, do you remember it? This is the shape of total revenue. So where marginal revenue is 0, so firm is having the objective of total sales revenue maximization, not the profit maximization. Lower, is it clear? So at this level of output, you will see the firm is setting this price. Because demand curve is downward sloping, in order to sell extra units, firm has to decrease the price. Look here, if I draw the marginal cost of production like this, so here the firm is able to have sales revenue maximization. Instead of producing less, it is producing more and having the lower price than before. But its objective is not to maximize profit, rather its objective is to maximize total sales revenue. Are you able to understand the difference between these two diagrams? What is the difference? Here the firm objective is to maximize profit, and here its objective is to maximize the total sales revenue. That's why it is producing at the point where marginal revenue is 0 and its total sales revenue is maximum. Okay, now I am going to erase the upper diagram to show you the difference between the other objectives like the sales maximization. What is the third objective? The sales maximization. Sales maximization. How it can be achieved? Now, a firm wants to increase its market share, rather to maximize total revenue or the total profit of the firm. Once it gets more and more market share, what happens? When it has more market share in the market, so after this it can increase the price to maximize profit. First of all, it wants to have more market share. So it is possible when average revenue is equal to average total cost and firm profit is normal profit. So at the point of production where firm is earning normal profit, so it is having the objective of, what objective it is? The sales maximization. So if I draw the diagram of the sales maximization, again this is the demand curve which is equal to average revenue. This is going to be the marginal revenue. Alright. Now you see over here, this is the marginal cost of production, whereas the firm is going to produce at this point where its average cost is intersecting its average revenue. Alright? Where it is having normal profit. And now see over here, the price is equal to average revenue and that's equal to average total cost. So what is the profit of the firm? Normal profit. So when firm is having the objective of sales maximization, it will forget the supernormal profit, rather it is going to cover all of its cost of production and keep its profit level normal to increase the quantity quantity sold in the market. So sales maximization of the firm can be achieved at the point where average revenue is equal to average total cost and firm is going to earn normal profit. Clear? Every objective I am drawing the diagram, so keep it in mind when you face them in your MCQ paper, multiple choice question paper. So you must recognize at which level of output what objective of the firm is. This is the main thing I want to explain. Now what is the satisficing profit? What is the other objective? The satisficing profit. What's that? Now firm is keeping the profit level lower rather than it is earning profit, but profit is required to keep the shareholders happier, that they are providing dividends. Clear? Okay, one thing I forgot, I will tell you later. Now this is the satisficing profit. What is the satisficing profit? Firm is earning the profit, but in order to keep the shareholders happier, that they are able to earn dividend, but it is spending more on the improvement of the image of the firm, or the improvement in the quality of the firm, or the workers' welfare. So on the providing more benefits to the workforce or the managers of the firm. So when they keep their profit levels at a lower level or the satisficing level, so the firm is having the other objectives to be achieved, like to increase the welfare of the workers or to improve the image of the firm. But along with that, firm is providing a little bit dividend to their shareholders as well. So satisficing profit a firm will be earning when it is producing at the point where price is equal to marginal cost of production. And this is the condition of what? Allocating efficiency. Remember it. Now, okay, you can see over here, this is the point. I am drawing the same one. I am not using a single diagram to explain you all objectives in one diagram. Every time I am trying a separate diagram that you understand the difference among them. This is the marginal revenue. Now the firm is going to have this level of output. Clear? Where marginal cost is equal to the average revenue. Average revenue is equal to marginal cost or the price of the product. So if I draw the average cost over here, this is the average cost. Firm is earning the supernormal profit. You can see over here. How much is the level of profit now? Satisficing. It is too less than the supernormal profit earned when its objective was to maximize profit. When it was producing at this point, its profit level was higher. Now this profit is earned by the firm, but it is called satisficing profit. It is spending more on, it is spending more on the other things to improve the quality management and on the research and development to compete the rival firms, or to improve the welfare of the workers, that they will be more motivated to produce more, their productivity will increase. Here you can find one more thing, what is called cross subsidization. What do you mean by cross subsidization? Like a firm is producing diversified range of products, one product is bearing a loss. So its loss will be covered by the profit of other product ranges. For example, Unilever is producing so many goods. If one product is having a loss, it is not going to stop its production, but it will keep on producing, that no market niche will be available to the new firm. So now what is going to happen? Its loss will be covered by the other products proffered. So that is called the loss of one firm when it is subsidized by the profit of other firm. That is called cross subsidization. What it is called? Cross subsidization. That's possible when firm is having the objective of satisficing profit. Okay, look here. This is where the firm in the upper diagram sales maximization. The firm is having the objective of sales maximization. Have you heard principal agent problem? Principal agent problem. Principal agent problem faced by a limited company. Do you know, have the idea of limited company, private limited or public limited company, where we find the separation of ownership and management. Who are the owners of the company? They are the shareholders. Whereas who are going to manage the firm? They are the managers. They are the employees of the business. So what is the objective of the shareholders? To maximize profit, because they will be able to earn more dividend out of that. Okay? So the first objective was, you can say this objective is going to be honored by the shareholders of the business, that their dividend should be increasing. There or not? But the managers, think about the managers' objectives. Managers are paid the sales commissions when they have more sales. So the manager or the agent, who is the principal? The shareholders, the owners of the business, whereas the managers are the agents. So they have difference of objectives in the same business, in the same production unit. So managers are going to have the objective of sales maximization, because they will be paid more and more sales commissions. Alright? And the shareholders, they are having the objective of profit maximization. So this type of chaos will exist in the limited companies, which is called principal agent problem, that the shareholder objectives are not matched by the manager's objectives. If their objectives are differing with each other, so they will be facing principal agent problem. Clear? So the satisficing profit is over now. What is loss minimization? Survival, you know what is? Sometimes the firm is having the objective of the survival of the firm within the business, within the industry. That every firm is not able to cover its average cost of production. Do you know what is called the loss minimization? Loss minimization. Do you have the knowledge about the shutdown point of the firm? Where is the shutdown point of the firm? When the price of the product is too low, that it does not cover the average variable cost. What it is? For example, I gave you the explanation about the perfect competition, if you remember, during the short run. This is average revenue, this is the marginal revenue. Now the price is like this, where average total cost is higher, and this is the average variable cost. If price is this one, at this price all of the variable cost is covered and some part of fixed cost is covered, and this is the loss of the firm, which is the proportion of the fixed cost of the total cost of production. But firm will keep on producing, and it will wait that price will again increase, although it is having a loss. Price will again increase and it will be able to earn supernormal profit. So same thing can happen with imperfect competition. This is the hypothetical model. If prices are falling and firm is bearing a loss, so it will minimize its loss by selling more at that lower price, that it is covering its variable cost of production. When price is lowest to this point, this is the shutdown point. Alright? So it is only covering the variable cost of production, it is supplying. So when price goes below this shutdown point, price is below the minimum of average variable cost, price is below the minimum average variable cost, firm will not supply the output. Now its loss is having the area of variable cost of production, like the firm is unable to cover the raw material prices, firm is unable to cover the wages of the workers, then it will simply shut down. So what is the loss minimization? When loss is equal to fixed cost, it will try to finish all of its stock, that its loss should not be going to the area where it will not be able to cover the variable cost of production. The firm is trying to minimize its loss as much as it is possible. Before the shutdown point, it should sell out all of the stock whatever is available. If shutdown point has been achieved, then it will make a trouble. Now it has to leave the market, it has to leave the industry, whether firm is in perfect competition or in imperfect competition. Follow the point? Now what are the ethical objectives? Do you remember the ethical objectives? What are those? Do you know ethical objectives? Corporate social responsibility. Ethical objectives क्या हैं? Corporate social responsibilities. What does it mean? That firm should not only be focusing on the profit maximization, on sales revenue maximization, but it should also spend on the welfare of the society. That give a positive image of the firm to the society, that this firm is spending more on the welfare of people, so they will buy more of the product of the same firm. Clear? Or you can say that this firm is not going to pollute the atmosphere, the negative externalities will be reduced by the firm. Clear? So we want to have the ethical objectives fulfilled along with the other objectives. That it should avoid the child labor, it should avoid the pollution produced by the firm in the atmosphere, or it should also spend on the welfare projects like on education, on health. So when these things are achieved, we say the firm is also achieving ethical objectives. This is the corporate social responsibility. The corporate sector is having some social responsibility, so they come under this category of the objectives. Alright, so all these objectives, if they come to your exam, you must, sometimes there is a question, discuss whether the firm is always having the objective of profit maximization. Can you answer this? Discuss whether the firm is always having the objective of profit maximization. So you can say not, it is not the case. It has